Hello, and welcome to what is possibly the last episode of ASL Basics with Miss Colleen. I've kind of reached my personal limit of knowledge on topics in ASL, so until I can learn a bit more myself, or I come up with another topic to show you guys, this will be the last episode. But as always, I recommend it for children ages 6 and up. However, you're never too early or too late to start learning a new language. Before we begin, remember to stretch out your hands. You want to feel a stretch, but you don't want it to hurt. Shake them out and rub them together just to get the blood circulating and to warm them up a little bit. Now, throughout these videos, I've mostly focused on vocabulary and a couple small aspects of ASL. So today I want to show you 25 conversation phrases and questions that you might use when you first meet someone and you are trying to get to know them. There are two things to keep in mind. The first is to remember that the ASL grammar structure is very different from English. Things are a little bit turned around and backwards, so it can be a little confusing. And number two is to raise your eyebrows when asking a yes or no question and to scrunch them down a little bit when asking a question word question. So let's go ahead and begin with some of our review on just a basic introduction and greeting. So first we have hello. You just take that B hand shape right at your forehead and do a little salute. Hello. You can also always just wave. What's up? We take those open eights and brush our shoulders. What's up? Do a little head nod when you do that. What's up? How are you? How are you? Remember, we take those bent open B's, rotate them out, and point. How are you? Introducing yourself, my name. Remember, for possessive pronouns, we use that B hand shape. My name, and then finger spell your name. Name, just take two H's and one bounces on top of the other. My name, and finger spell. What is your name? Your name. What? Remember, possessive. Your name. What? What is your name? Nice to meet you. We do nice to meet you. Meet you, think of two people coming together, meeting. Nice to meet you. Are you deaf? Asking someone if they are deaf. You point, you, do the sign for deaf, and then point again. Make sure to raise your eyebrows. Are you deaf? Are you deaf? Do you know sign language? Not all deaf people know or use sign language, or they might use a different version of sign language than ASL. So to ask someone if they know sign language, you do the sign language. You know. Again, remember to raise those eyebrows because it's a yes or no question. So sign language. You know. You can also ask ASL. You know. That one might be a little bit easier. ASL. You know? Do you know ASL? What is your phone number? Say you've been talking to them, you think you might want to keep in touch. We do your phone number what? Phone, I just hold my hand up to my ear and let the heel of my hand kind of touch where my chin is. Because this looks a bit more like holding a smartphone instead of doing the old thumb and pinky sign, the Y and putting it to your ear, because our phones have kind of changed in the last couple of years. So this is a little bit more updated, but people will still understand this. So your phone number what? Where do you live? You're asking them whether they live in Corpus Christi or maybe they live in Robstown or out in the Flower Bluff area. So again, we point, you, live, and then where. Live, just take 2 L's and you run them up from about your waist up to your chest. Live. You live where? Where do you live? What school do you go to? So for this, I'm going to do school, which is just take 2 flat hands and just clap and kind of brush them together. School. So you can do you, school, where, or your school, what. May seem a little bit funny. It's a little less structured than the way we say it in English of what school do you go to. You're just asking them for the name of their school. So you school where or your school what? Either one. They say they're going to Carroll or Caffey Middle School or something like that. You can ask them, what grade are you in? So for that, you can just ask, what grade? So for grade, take that G and just bring it to an open palm. What grade? What grade? How old are you? So a couple other signs that you need to know for this because they're all very similar. For age, you just take a hand and bring it down from your chin. Age, kind of like you're stroking a beard. Age. For how old, you just do that twice. How old? How old are you? How old are you? And then if you do this, you're calling someone very old, like you're tugging on a beard, and it's just going all the way down. Old. So, age, how old, old. And then they can show you their age. When is your birthday? Your birthday, when? Remember, your birthday. For that, we use the open 8. Touch your chin and then the center of your chest. And then when. Your birthday, when. When is your birthday? Where do you work? You were talking to someone, they're not in school anymore. They've graduated. So they might be working somewhere. So you can ask them, you work where? Where do you work? You work where? What do you do? They tell you where they work. Well, what's your job? What do you do? And for that, you just do kind of make this little pinching motion with your thumb and index finger, but you hold them on the sides. So you do what? What do you do? You do what? What do you do? What's part of your job? Do you have siblings? For that you do siblings. Remember, sister, brother, or brother, sister, whichever way. Siblings you have. Remember to raise those eyebrows. Siblings you have. Do you have siblings? Do you have pets? We do the sign pets. Pets. Remember, you just kind of brush the back of your hand. So, pets you have. Pets you have. Do you have pets? What are your hobbies? So for hobbies, there's not really a sign for that. You're just going to spell out hobby. H-O-B-B-Y. And you can just do your hobby what? What's your hobby? You can also ask them again, use the what do you do? Do the you do what? Or add like in there. What do you like to do? You like do what? You like to do what? So those are a couple different ways to ask, what are your hobbies? I'll go through them again. Your hobby, what? What is your hobby? What do you do? You do what? What do you do? What do you like to do? You like do what? What do you like to do? What is your favorite color? Over that. Your favorite color what? For favorite, you're going to take that open 8 and place it right at your chin. Just like we did with birthday, but we don't move it. It's just right on your chin. Favorite. Your favorite color. Just kind of wiggle your fingers right under your chin. And then what? Your favorite color what? What is your favorite color? What is your favorite food? Again, your favorite and then food what? Your favorite food what? What is your favorite food? Remember that sign for food is the same as to eat. What is your favorite movie? Your favorite and then movie what? Your favorite movie. Take a B, it balances on your non-dominant hand and kind of wiggles back and forth. Your favorite movie what? What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite TV show? Your favorite TV and then do movie again. TV show what? Your favorite TV show what? What is your favorite book? Your favorite book what? For book, just hold your hands together and then open them, kind of like you're opening a book. Your favorite book what? And then when you're done with the conversation, you can just tell them, see you later. Or we just do see, and then take an L and rotate it. See you later. So those are 25 conversation phrases and questions that you might use when you're trying to get to know someone, especially someone who is deaf. So don't forget, there is, of course, a lot more to ASL. So if you want to check out some of these online resources, there are some vocabulary websites that are really awesome. You just type in the word that you are looking for and it shows you a short clip on how to do the sign for that word. And there are also some YouTube channels that I personally find very useful. They go a little bit more in depth, cover a bit more vocabulary, and they're just really good resources for anyone who is interested in learning more about ASL. Of course, you can also check out the Deaf and Hard of Hearing Center here in Corpus Christi. Their website is deafhhcenter.org. They offer classes usually during the year. Of course, everything's on pause right now, but when they start them up again, they are really worth checking out, especially if you want to learn a bit more about ASL and the deaf community, because they have really awesome teachers there. In the meantime, however, you can find some books here at the Corpus Christi Public Libraries, both in the branches, physical materials and digital materials through Hoopla and Access 360. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook and YouTube for updates. You can also go to cctexas.com/library to access our online catalog, see a full list of all of our virtual programs, and check out the online browsing options with the new book alerts, author check, and the book newsletter. And I hope to see you guys again. Bye!